Good morning, good morning. Welcome to House of Anthony. Today we're going to have a insightful conversation. For those who are new to the channel, we make mental health conversations and content that's going to be beneficial to your personal development in addition to your well-being. However, in today's conversation, we're going to be talking about understanding obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD, steps to break free from the cycle. I really want to be able to explain what OCD is, how it affects our thoughts, behaviors, in addition to offering practical, compassionate strategies to maintaining those intrusive thoughts, right? The rumination, the things that are going on into our mind, right? And be able to help us really, gain that control over one's life, right? So I really want to take into consideration that we're able to have that resilience, we're able to have that compassion, we're able to have that self-love when we're able to have that acceptance, but in addition to understanding what we're going through with that love and that compassion, you heard? So stick with me, grow with me. We're gonna be able to navigate throughout this video. First segment, we're gonna be able to talk about what is OCD, understanding this disorder in that sense. So the definition of OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder. It is a mental health condition involve unwanted, intrusive thoughts, obsessions, in addition to that repeated behaviors or mental rituals or compulsions, right? So we got to take consideration for most out there. Maybe thinking when they think about OCD, it's just like people having their space clean or organized. There's different aspects of it, and we're going to be, like I said, to dab into that, right? So the OCD cycle, right? So obsession, anxiety, compulsion, temporary relief, and even that repeat. So it's a cycle, as mentioned, right? So the common types of OCD, like I said, we have the contamination. So for people out there that are just fearful or fear of germs, right? We have checking, so we have safety doubts. We have symmetry, that ordering, making sure things are specific, you know what I mean, up to measures, right? Intrusive thoughts, like I said, the things that are going through the mind, and all these things can definitely impact, like I said, our lives in regarding that individual. So it can be violent, it can be sexual. There's different things that are going on in regards to that content. We have mental compulsions, so that reassurance seeking, that rumination, like I said, the ways of the thinking, right? So what is OCD isn't, right? So I'm going to take into consideration that it's not about just being tidy, conscious, and just being a perfectionist. It's distressing and it is time consuming. So this definitely, like I said, has an effect on one's living and how this affects their life. So I want to be able to take in consideration like a reflection. So I want you to be able to think about when you feel stuck in regards to that repetitive thought or those actions, what emotion drives them, the fear, guilt, or that uncertainty for those out there, right? So I really want you to take in consideration what's really going on, right? You gotta be more, intuitive in regards to what's going on in your life. So if you see things that are unusual, you see things that are not going right, you see things that are impacting you, you really want to be able to note these things and potentially, like I said, seek support, advocate for yourself. Next segment, let's talk about the science behind OCD and why it feels so powerful. Right, so the brain wiring is the first key concept we're going to talk about. So overactivity in the brain's error detection circuit. So this is something that affects and creates the false alarms in the mind. Next is going to be the role of anxiety, right? So the brain sends the danger signal even when it's non-existent, triggering the compulsives to relieve of it, right? So that is the role of the anxiety in regards to the body and the mind, regarding the OCD. The false comfort, right? So each compulsive offers temporary relief, reinforcing the cycle and making OCD stronger over time. That's what I'm saying. I really advocate for those out there. If you're recognizing something that's unusual, you're seeing patterns, you really want to be able to advocate for yourself, get the support, speak to a doctor, speak to a professional if necessary for you, if you're recognizing these things. Next is that not your fault, right? So OCD is a neurobiological condition, not a character flaw or a lack of willpower. People are not just doing these things just to do these things. People are not just trying to be silly just to be silly. This is a real thing. This is a disorder and it's impacting someone's life. But like I said, this is a neurobiological condition. Next segment, let's talk about breaking the cycle. So tools and techniques, for managing OCD. Right, we got to recognize that there is tools and strategies, different things that we're able to do proactively, right, in a positive way to be able to help us out. So ERP, which is the exposure and response prevention, right? Gradual exposure to fear thoughts or situations while resisting the urge to perform compulsions, right? So there's different types of prevention that can be able to help. We have CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, which helps identify the challenging, distorted thoughts in regards to the patterns, in regards to your thinking, right? So we got to take in consideration that is therapeutic modality to help with this OCD. Mindfulness and acceptance, we really got to be able to take in consideration that if we have something, we got to be able to accept it and recognize that we have the ability to improve. So like I said, be compassionate, be kind to yourself. You're not the you're not the only one that's going through this unique thing, right? So mindfulness and acceptance is something that's going to be able to help you learn to observe your thoughts without judgment in that reaction. Mindfulness too, I want to take consideration too, solitude, get away from the noise, get away from distractions, get away from people that's going to make you feel like something's wrong with you, you know what I mean, judge you, right? So get yourself, reclaim yourself, accept yourself, you know what I mean? Really pour back into yourself, gratitude, think about good moments, keep yourself up, you know what I mean? And then, like I said, acceptance in regards to seeking that support, do what you can do to improve yourself. Next key concept is going to be delay and distract. We're going to be taking consideration that pausing before performing a compulsive weakens the power. So, like I said, having moments of mindfulness, breathing exercises, doing different strategies to be able to help yourself regain that control is going to be able to help weaken that OCD. So taking consideration to pause, slow down, right? Slow down and do something mindful, because it can really be able to help delay and distract. Next is going to be that medications. Like I said, the SSRI can be able to help rebalance and retrain your brain to be able to get that chemistry for many individuals that are dealing with OCD. Professional help, like I said, by dealing with a licensed therapist that is trained in ERP or OCD specific treatment is key. Like I said, we have people out there that are catered for. They're dealing with that diagnosis, dealing with the issue that's going on to be able to help you have the treatment, to be able to help you get back to where you need to be. Next segment, we're going to be able to talk about everyday strategies for living with OCD, right? So routine and rest. We got to take into consideration that sleep is something that our body, our mind is needed to be able to keep us up, right? So nutrition in regards to exercise as well to be able to help us with that emotional regulation. Next is going to be that limit reassurance seeking, right? So stop out there looking for other people in regards to external validation, right? So notice how you're feeling, worry about yourself, do things that are going to consistently put yourself at ease and keep your peace at ease as well, right? So notice when you're asking for constant certainty or gently resistant, right? So like I said, resist seeking that validation from people and do what's best for yourself. Labeling the disorder, right? So say that my OCD is talking to separate that yourself in regards to that illness, right? So like I said, I want you guys to be able to have that mindfulness, talk to yourself, speak to yourself, which is totally normal, and really reclaim yourself. Next is going to be track triggers, right? So journaling is going to be able to help spot these things, writing down your emotions, writing down your feelings, writing down the date, writing down the time, right? To be able to spot the patterns in that progress. Next is going to be build support. So share experiences with trusted friends, those support groups. Like I said, peers that are going to be able to have some of the same diagnosis or some of the same traits that you're experiencing can be able to help provide that support, or even the online communities as well. Right, so next segment we're going to be talking about hope in that recovery, right? So redefining the control, right? So gradually things will get better, but you also got to have the mindset as well, right? You got to be able to, like I said, acceptance, support, and be able to, like I said, get around other people to be able to give yourself that ease. But hope and recovery is there, and redefining that control is there as well. So recovery is gradual, so setbacks is part of the healing, not the failure, right? So take it easy on yourself and have that compassion. Resilience through practice is something that each person may have, right? So resistant in regards to the compulsion builds mental strength. So the more that you're able to be kind to yourself, the more that you're able to push through, you're going to get better over time. You're going to get stronger, right? So reclaiming your joy is a symptom that lessens, right? So energy returns for hobbies, right? So relationships and goals. So things will get better as you navigate, but you got to find ways that are going to keep you balanced, keep your peace, keep you conducive, keep you at ease. So do things that are going to be able to help you be happy, right? So reclaiming your joy. So do things that are going to be beneficial to you in a positive aspect. Next is that you're not alone. I really want to emphasize this, like millions engage in OCD and manage OCD successfully with the right tools and that support. We talked about many of these things today, so I really hope that you're going to be able to take these things into consideration so it benefits your overall mental health, your well-being, and your life. So just wrapping this video up, I really want to take consideration that you can break free. So OCD is something that you may have, something that you're navigating through, but it's something that doesn't have to define or even control you, right? So your thoughts do come, thoughts do go, but we're able to get better with time, with that courage, with the right tools, and with that support. You're able to, pass them with this learning experience, with this learning of love, with this learning of breaking free, right? So if you found this video beneficial, give it a thumbs up, share if possible, and I'll see you in the next one.